CC family, it's Misty, and I hope that wherever you are in the country or in the world, that you are safe and that you are healthy. I'd like to offer this recording of a restorative type of practice, kind of a yin style of practice that you can do in your home with things that you already have around. All you'll need for the practice today is a pillow or two, perhaps a strap, not necessary, but I always like to have a blanket as well, just folded so that you can sit up on it and use it for different poses that we'll be doing. Yin practice is a practice that you're sitting still or bending forward or backwards. Also, a couple of nice thick books would be nice for this practice if you don't have yoga blocks. I'm going to be using things that I think everybody probably has at their house to demonstrate the poses. So let's just begin by coming to a cross-legged position if you're not already there, and just let your hands rest on your knees. Good. Close your eyes and just begin to notice your breath. No need to change it or fix it or do any yoga magic breathing. Just breathe and feel the sensation of the breath as it comes in and out of the body. Gentle breath in and gentle breath out. Keeping the spine nice and tall. Let the shoulders just drop down. And breathe, letting go of anything that has happened during the day or anything that you might be doing later. Just see if you can really come fully present here and now. So feel your sitting bones on the earth. Any part of your body, maybe the thighs, the glutes that are touching the earth right now, the feet. Just notice how it feels to be supported on the earth herself. And know that you have everything you need and more for this moment. This is true. And our practice will be helping us remember that we do have everything we need for this moment. So we'll begin with some nice neck stretches. So take an inhale and then drop the chin down toward the heart. And just feel that nice traction on the back of the neck. Breathe into that. And then slowly roll your head over so the ear is right above the right shoulder. The right ear right above the right shoulder. Just feel that nice traction on the left side of the body. We're just going to hold this for 1 minute. And you can tuck the chin, maybe a little bit, yes, in this posture. So tucking the chin and then coming right back over the shoulder. And then when you find a place that feels particularly yummy, stay there and allow that place to open and release. If you need a little more, you can bring your left hand out to the side. I'm actually going to put a book underneath my hand so that I'm fully connected to the earth via the book, just drawing it closer to me. And breathing here. Our neck is one of those places that is the first to experience stress in our body. So we'll feel it between our shoulder blades, our neck, our face. So being mindful to let go of the jaw, maybe opening and closing the mouth. Good. And then release your hand back to your knee and drop the head back down to center. And just take a few breaths here, moving your book or your block if you need onto the other side as your head and chin are dropped. And then really slowly move the left ear over above the left shoulder. Bringing the right hand out to give a little more traction to the right side of the neck if needed. But it's perfectly fine to keep your hand right there on your knee. The practice of yin is really about supporting and not forcing a pose, just gently moving. So if you'd like to tuck the chin down and back a few times, just allow the chin to come forward, and then the ear comes back over the shoulder. Then when you find that place that feels like it's a great place to stay, just stay there and breathe for a few more breaths here. Inviting in peace and calm, inviting in release. This practice is maybe new for a lot of you, and it's a wonderful way to allow the body to down-regulate and the mind to be in a place of calm and ease. Take one more breath here. And on the exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. Bring the hand back to the opposite knee. Let the head hang. Good. And then just gently on the inhale, bring the head right above the spine. Have a great big smile on your face. And this is actually an exercise. We're going to smile really big. Open the jaw as wide as you can. Ah. Close it and squinch the face up really tight. Good. Open the jaw, open the mouth. I know it looks silly. Close the eyes and squeeze the eyes and the mouth up to the nose. And one more time. Open really big, bright eyes. Open wide. And then squeeze the face as tight as you can. And then just release and flutter out the lips. Good. So if you would take your books, if you have them, or a pillow is fine as well. We're going to come into butterfly pose. So I like to sit up on a blanket for this because it helps tilt my pelvis forward, and that's really what you want in this pose. So I'm just going to sit right on the edge. Bring the soles of your feet together. Good. And in yin, the butterfly pose is long legged. So instead of having the feet really close to you, we're going to bring them out long because we're going to be folded forward for a bit here. So if you have a pillow and that feels nice, you can fold forward and just rest down on the pillow, or you can take a book and just allow your head to rest down wherever it feels comfortable. We'll be here for about 2 to 3 minutes. So we're already about a minute in, not quite. And let the head hang. So allow yourself this time to notice when thoughts come into the mind. When they do, no problem, just allow them to pass. Imagine that you are watching them go by like the clouds in the sky. And let the arms just hang heavy. If your knees are way up, you can also put blocks or books underneath to support the thighs. We really want to have the body supported in every yin pose. And forward folding is a great way to begin to discover kind of that inner landscape. So noticing what's going on inside and creating a home there. So getting comfortable with maybe the turbulence of what's going on in the world or in your particular world. Just notice it and breathe into it. So being mindful of the breath as it comes in and out of the body. Breathing in. A little over a minute to go here. You can stack your fists on top of each other to allow the head to rest on something. So instead of letting the head just hang on its own, support the head with the hands, the pillow, the blocks, the books, whatever is useful. And just feel the back of the body, the low back, begin to open and release. Breathing in and out. And maybe saying to yourself, I have everything I need and more for this moment. Our mind needs things to focus on that will help it gravitate to what is healthful and peaceful and rooted in truth. So breathing into that mantra, I have everything I need and more for this moment. And keep the breath flowing. Good. Take 3 more breaths here, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Now keep your head hanging and use your hands to help guide you back to seated really slowly. Chins tucked to the chest. Release the pillow, the blocks, the books, whatever. And use your hands on the outside of your knees to draw them back into center. Bring the hands behind you. Puff out the chest. And then allow the knees to just windshield wiper from side to side. That feels great. Good. Do that a few times. Feet are kind of wide. And then our next pose is going to be half butterfly. So this time we will bring our foot in closer and the left leg out. I have my right foot in, right to the inside of my groin here, and the left foot is extended out. And I'm going to begin to turn toward that side. So I like to have blocks, books here to support me, and maybe a pillow. Feels nice. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, just begin to make your way to this folded posture, opening up on the left side of the body, the left hamstring, but you'll probably feel a nice opening down this right outer edge above the hip, low back. And in Chinese medicine, one of the things that we know is that affects our feeling of anxiety or fear is the kidney meridian. And a lot of the yin postures, and particularly this one, works this kidney meridian to open it up and to allow the energy to flow freely instead of getting stuck and pushed down. So we want to allow the body to work things out. Whatever emotions that we have that we don't kind of work with, they stay somewhere in our bodies. And so often when we feel energy stuck, or we feel a backache that isn't just muscular, it might be that the energy is not moving. So the yin practice, restorative practice, is a wonderful way to begin to release this energy and allow it to flow freely. So just settle into the pose, breathing in and out gently. Letting the thoughts come and go. And wherever you feel that tightness, see if you can send the breath, we call it prana, life force, to that area. Take 3 more breaths here. And after your 3rd breath, really slowly walk yourself forward. Allow the hands to just rest forward. I like to put the pillow underneath my head. Just get a little more of a nice opening stretch here. Good. And then again, slowly walk your hands back up to seated. And we'll bring our right hand behind the left hand to the outside of the right knee and just gently twist here. Breathing in and out. 10 breaths. Breathing in and out. Not forcing, but just gently twisting. Good. Maybe keeping the windows of the eyes closed so you can really investigate what the body is experiencing and how you're feeling in this moment. 3 more breaths. Breathe in together and exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in and exhale. Wonderful. Come back to center and we'll do the other side. So set yourself up for the other side. Maybe extend the legs out, shake them out first. Let the toes kind of come in and out, just working those joints for maybe some ankle circles as well, both ways. And then we'll set up on the other side. So the right leg will be extended. The left leg is going to come in nice and close. Good. And then set yourself up on this side. So perhaps the pillow, and you might notice that one side's a lot different than the other. No worries, that's the way our bodies are. And everybody's body is quite different. So set yourself up for what suits you. And then turn toward your right toes and just maybe shake it out to let that toe go. We often have our toes flexed, but just allow it to release. Take an inhale. And then go ahead and begin to walk yourself forward. Wow, I feel this a lot more on this side, so I'm going to stack my fists so that I am able to just one step at a time release. So for those of you that have practiced with me at CC, you know these principles, but I'll share them with newcomers to Yin Yoga. So there are 3 principles, and the first one is that we work our edge. So wherever you feel that first place of resistance, that's where you stop. And it's kind of where you feel like, wow, that's tight. Well, that's where you want to stay and practice and breathe. And then after a while, and it might be a few breaths, it might be a few minutes, you begin to feel that the body is opening. So that first principle of working the edge says that after you stop and you stay with that first edge, then you can allow yourself to come deeper into the practice and find stillness. So stillness is pretty hard for most of us. We like to fidget or fix our shirt or fix our hair, but just allow yourself to come into this place that you can just breathe and be. It's a practice of being and not doing. So allow yourself this time to be still, and I'm watching the clock for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And the third principle is time. That's really the magic ingredient, is to stay in the shape for time. And allow yourself to let the body open and let the intuitive wisdom of the body to do its thing. Our work is to just be with it and to observe. So keep breathing in. We've got about 30 more seconds to go here. Breathing in and out. And in and out. Our limbs are where we feel heaviness, when we're feeling depressed or anxiousness kind of takes root. So this is a great way to begin to release that tension, the low back, the limbs of our body. So breathe into that. Take 3 more breaths here. And then walk your hands back to center. And just come forward. You'll notice this probably on the inside of the groin more than on the low back. So we'll just be here for a few breaths, letting the legs that carry us to release and let go. Letting go of that fear, that flight or fight. Just resting and allowing, breathing. Great. Take 3 more breaths here. Nice deep breaths. And then slowly walk your hands back up. Again, keeping the chin tucked until you're all the way up. And then we'll gently turn the other way. So bring your right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes behind. And you'll just gently twist here, rinsing out the spine. It's a great practice when you're feeling especially anxious to come into any kind of a twisting, gentle twisting posture. Gives fresh blood to our adrenals and to the kidneys, internal organs. So breathe into that, nice deep breaths. Good. And we'll come back to center. Ooh, bring that right leg in and both legs come forward, shake it out. And then just use your hands to kind of, in fists, to kind of stimulate on the outside and the inside lines of the legs. Good. And we've been doing quite a bit of forward folding. So now we're going to come into an extension of the back called Sphinx pose. So this is a great posture to do if you're watching TV or anything that you're maybe reading a book on the floor. You're just going to come onto your belly. So just flip on over. And I like to have a blanket underneath my elbows, but whatever's comfortable for you. If it feels better for you to have your elbows right underneath you on the floor, it feels good even to have the blanket right underneath your rib cage. So let the elbows be underneath the shoulders and maybe the hands out about 15 degrees or so. And we're going to be here for about 3 minutes. So get yourself set up for comfort. And then allow yourself to set up your head for where you can stay. So I like to have some blocks underneath me and allow my head to rest down. So try rocking out the hips just gently and then finding a place of stillness. And noticing that the low back will release pretty quickly. And as you feel the low back release, you can move a little deeper into the pose. So after a minute or a few breaths or so, maybe you want to bring your books right underneath you and lift the elbows up higher, perhaps resting on your hands, your chin on your hands. Not worrying too much about the shoulders, really the low back is the aim here. And just breathe into this space of opening and release. You know, we often feel anxiety because we feel like nothing will ever change. And the Buddha had a great wisdom for us, and he said that everything changes. So we love to hear that when things are not like we like them, that everything will change. But it's also true when things are wonderful, that everything will change. So our practice is to learn to be with what is. So allow yourself to practice in this kind of crazy time to be with what is. And now to be with what is in the physical body, just breathing into that, finding stillness. Got a little over a minute to go here. So see if you can notice your belly as you breathe deep into the belly space. And just study yourself. In yoga we call this svadhyaya, self-study. So study your desire to maybe move, or maybe study yourself in, maybe you feel bored. Study yourself in every way. For the last few breaths, if you would like to come all the way up into seal pose, you can just press your hands into the earth, allow the shoulders to drop down, and come up into this beautiful opening, heart forward. Hips are rooted on the earth. You're taking nice deep breaths here, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Really great. Go ahead and really slowly lower yourself back down onto the earth. You can stack your hands on top of each other and just draw your knee up towards your shoulder. It will release your low back. And take a few breaths here. Go ahead and release that leg back down. Roll over onto your side and make your way back up to seated for a moment. We've got a couple more poses to go. This next one, many of you have probably done in a traditional yoga class, and that class is called Pigeon Prep. In Yin, it's called Sleeping Swan. So this is one of the best poses we can do to open our hips. So maybe grab a blanket to help support. And I'm going to come into on the left side first so you can notice how I'm set up here, but you can start on either side. So maybe come to all fours and just draw your knee toward your wrist. And in Yin, it's not important for the for the shin to be parallel. It's just important that the hips are kind of square toward the earth. So this is where the blanket is really helpful. If your glute isn't flat down on the earth, then support it with a blanket. Just kind of push it up under there. Good. And then notice how the hips are here. So get set up. Take a peek back at your back foot and just allow it to come straight out from the hip. And when you're ready, lower down onto that pillow. If this feels like it's too much, you can stay again with your chin and your hands, or if you want to stack some books to give you some more support. Wherever you feel like it's, again, working that edge. So where you feel the edge, which for most people, their hips are pretty tight. Our hips hold things like sadness and frustration. And so we typically have a lot to work out in our hips. And this is a great pose to begin to work with those emotions, working with the fascian connective tissue that typically don't get paid attention to in our vinyasa practice or even in other forms of exercise. So we're working to open those that wrapping around all of those muscles and tendons that go through the whole body. So allow yourself to maybe visualize the hip as it releases tension, frustration, sadness, things that might be stuck in the body. Just breathe into that for the last minute and a half here. You can allow the head to drop down. Try to stay with the sensations of the body. So just notice the sensations. Can you describe it? Is it a hot feeling? Is it a dull, achy feeling? Often that's how people describe their yin practice, that the sensation in the body is kind of a dull ache, and that's to be expected. Like a nerve pain that feels intense and fiery. We don't want that, so please come out of the pose or make an adjustment so that you don't feel that sharp, intense pain. But allowing that dull, achy sensation, just being with that and not having to fix it is really a powerful practice for us. So breathe into that space, allowing the hip to let go, and whatever comes along with that letting go. You've got a little less than a minute to go here. So breathe and let go. As I like to say, sometimes a mantra is breathe and be. Breathe and be. And breathe and be. Great. Take 3 more breaths here, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out and in and out. Great. So roll on to whatever side your hip is, the knee is bent, roll on to that side. So let the weight just come over to that side and use your hand to kind of help bring that back leg around. Whew. And we'll just extend the legs out with the feet, with the knees bent, and we'll do some reverse tabletops here to kind of bring some blood flow, energy back into that hip socket. Good. Great. And then let's set up for the other side. So however you want to get into sleeping swan on this side, I'll be on my right side. So I'm going to set up so that the blanket is right underneath that hip. And you might notice that one side is a lot different. You might need more support on this side than on the other side, which is fine. It's really about finding a place that you can be supported and be still for our time in the pose. So just make your way to wherever that is and allow those sensations to be what they are and just notice them. Our body is always speaking to us, and it speaks to us in sensation. That's the language of the body. So when the sensation is a strong sensation, just inquire, what is that about? What do I need to pay attention to? And then just listen. It is a practice to learn to understand what these sensations mean and just how to work work with them. So the yin practice is a great way to begin to observe and to learn and to just be with whatever is. So breathe into the space, breathe into the strong sensation, or maybe it's not a strong sensation and you need to maybe find a deeper expression of the pose, maybe coming all the way down. But wherever you are, be there and breathe. And allow the body to naturally open up. The shape and time will do the work. You don't have to. So just allow yourself to let the body do its thing. Breathe into that. If the mind starts to wander, especially in the silence, just gently bring it back to the breath. The nature of the mind is to wander and to produce thoughts. So our work is to just bring it back to the present moment by means of the breath, by means of the sensations, what they are right now at this moment. So work with that. And we have 3 more breaths here. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Great. Walk your hands back underneath you and roll over onto that hip that is supported, and then draw the back leg around to the front. And again, we'll do some of those reverse tabletops on this side, just inhaling and lifting and exhaling down, inhaling and lifting, exhaling down. One more time. Great. And then our final pose is going to be one of my favorites and one of the ones that I encourage people to do every day if they can. So if you have a strap or a belt, you can use that. We're just going to make a loop here. And no worries if you don't have this. As a matter of fact, let's not use the belt. Let's use your blanket. And you'll take it out kind of long if you can. And then just roll it so that it's kind of like a little snake here. And then I'm going to bring, kind of like we did in the beginning of class, the soles of my feet together, wrap the blanket around here, and let the knees drop open, maybe using your books. And then if you have a couple of pillows, bring them right to your sacrum, stack them up. You really kind of want a nice little bolster effect here. And then just lay back. Let the head rest on the earth. Let the knees just drop open, the palms face up. This is called open heart posture. So in this posture of being fully open here, breathe into the heart space, that place of compassion and love. And first offer that compassion and love to yourself. And then I'd like for you to think of someone in the CC community that whoever comes to mind, that's the person. And I want you to send them a blessing, a thought, a positive affirmation, just keep them in your mind's eye and send them love, compassion, positive energy for the next few breaths. And then finally, I'd like for you to think of someone or something that has been difficult. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's COVID-19, a difficult thing that we are all dealing with. And see if you can just be open to the fact that you have everything you need for this moment. And compassion for the world as we work through this challenging time. Breathe into that. Feel your belly rising and falling. Nice deep breaths in and out of the body. Take 3 more breaths as a community together. Breathe in. Let it go ha. Breathe in. Let it go ha. And one more time. Breathe in. And let it go ha. Great. Draw your right knee over to your left. Roll over off of your blankets, off of your pillows, blocks, onto your left side. Cradle your head in your arms. So just make a little pillow with your hands. Knees are bent. And this is called seed pose. I love to think of this pose and practice it at the end of every practice because it's where we plant the thing that we want to grow. So what is it that would be useful in your life at this time to grow? What quality can you plant the seed of in your life? And then take a moment to offer gratitude to someone or something. And gratitude to yourself for showing up for your practice. And keeping your eyes closed, use your hands, your arms to help guide you back up to a seated posture. Really slowly, not fast. And when you get to the seated posture, cross your legs. Keep your head bowed to your heart. Hands come to Anjali Mudra, prayer mudra. And take a moment to observe how you're feeling, how the body feels, more importantly, how the mind and the emotions feel. May you be blessed. May you know joy. May you know peace. The light in me sees and honors, and I reflect back to you the light that is in you. Namaste. sending you love and light. See you next time.